Hey yo YouTube, CC here with the Week 7 Pool C recap of the LLL. Today we are diving in, going straight to the rankings. You guys seen the previous videos. These last 2 weeks are very tight, very tense. A lot of things are on the line right here. So we're gonna dive in, looking at the standings. And then we are going to look at the matches. Looking at the rankings, we see 4 players that are safe. Incredible King, Oceanic Gamer, Porto, and Izzy are safe right now, statistically. While there are still 8 players that can reach playoffs. Some have a very, very rough road ahead of them. Some are looking way crisper. But yeah, a lot of things that can still happen. Looking at the matches of this week, Incredible King has to face Ruben. Ruben would be amazing if he made playoffs, just based off picking up a team that was 0-3, 0-4 technically, and just rolling and rolling. It would be very impressive if he made playoffs right now. Looking at Oceanic Gamer versus Izzy, 2 players that are already settled, it doesn't really matter that much. Icy versus Toast is such an amazing match, bro, that's such an amazing match. One of these players is going to be settled, is going to reach playoffs, and one has to prove themselves next week. Very tight. We have Nymet versus Graded, 2 players that can still reach playoffs, 2 players at 2 wins. Very tight. They have to win out to get playoffs, but it's still possible, you know. And Steel versus that one Sableye. Steel can still reach playoffs. I feel like Sableye kind of doesn't, but statistically he can still do it. But the funny thing about Steel is if he wins 5-0, so if he does, that would be great. His chances would skyrocket, of course. Porto Pulse Champ is also a match, but it's not being played, blah blah blah. Yeah, these 5 matches are going to be the ones that we're going to take a look at. And we're going in the order of how they rank in the general ranking. And that kind of means it's very strange. The first match is the match of the week. This match was the most fun match. That's why I had to start off with it. It's Incredible King versus Ruben. For number 1 versus Ruben at 8 right now. Very interesting matchup. Taking a look at their team.
King is pulling up with Solgaleo, Palkia, Goldengo, Dragonite, Tentacruel, Incineroar, Comfey, Gligar, Kilowattrel, Swatluna, Tauros. Ruben is pulling up with Dragapult, Zamazenta, Hottering, Volcarona, Skarmory, Quack, Umbreon, Dragalge, P2, Kamal, and Jumpluff.
AKA the little bit stally team. Yeah, very interesting matchup. And like I said, King does not really feel the pressure of, he's already settled. He's probably going for one of the top spots, while Ruben has a lot of pressure on the shoulder. So I feel like, I don't know how seriously King is going to take this match. But, the matchup itself is very interesting. Dragapult has an amazing matchup versus King. And in general, Incineroar, of course, being one of those obstacles, but you have Zamazenta, you have some ones that can stall it out, like Umbreon or Quagsire or whatever. Volcarona also has a very good matchup. Tentacruel can tank a hit, but does not really do a lot of back. Perhaps like Hazel, Flip Turn, or Knockoff, I don't know. So those are the top dogs are probably going to decide this match. We also see on Incredible King's side, we see something like a Goldengo, which has a very interesting matchup, being like very good versus some and very bad versus the other. Dragonite can also be a very interesting one, but we see those unaware Quagsire on the other side. In general, I feel like King has a tough matchup, but you have a Solgaleo and a Palkia. 2 mons are never bad, so perhaps they can really shape to the playstyle that they want to. But I'm leaning more so towards Ruben, and Ruben has to win big if he wants to go to the playoffs. So without further ado, let's take a look at the match. And we do see Ruben starting off with a Skarmory right here. Let me just pull it up on normal speed. Leading off with a Skarmory, the infamous Skarmory. Going into Goldengo, a lot of damage versus Jumpluff. Jumpluff apparently scaring somebody out. Going for a light screen, so it's a support Jumpluff, very interesting. Gligar getting rocks bounced in his face, not very fortunate. And King is already looking very rough right here. Solgaleo is able to pressure Hottering for a lot of damage. Going for the Sensible Strike, but Berry, very interesting Bing, very cool bring. Mystical Fire for a lot of damage on the Solgaleo, but Solgaleo right now is easily able to tank take out the headering if it wants to. But revealing here that it does run something other than Sunsteel Strike, namely Thunderbolt. Interesting bring. Yeah, we know Incredible King can cook, but now his best chef is down. Can he still pull it back? Tentacruel, like I said, is able to flip turn or haze right here, and apparently it's a flip turn on the Heatherim. What is able to kill Heatherim right now is Goldango, even through screens, and Heatherim is down right here. Goldango in the face of a Jump Bluff. Shadow Ball does a lot of damage, but is not able to take it out. Light Screen once again pulling up, and now the Light Screen is there for the Volcarona or Zamazenta to take advantage of it. Zamazenta, is he going for a setup move right here? It is not. Just a barely chip damage on the Gligar. His subset, I don't know how effective that is, but it does avoid the Toxic right here. And now the Iron Defense is coming. It's not able to break this up, of course, the Gligar. Comfey, the infamous Comfey, everybody's worst nightmare, is now staring at the face of a Zamazenta with a plus 2.5 defense, going for the Calm-Eyes itself. So at this point, it's just a question who's able to break through the other. Earlier, and Draining Kiss, I feel like it just gives you so much more advantage. So Ruben is going to lose this exchange if it goes sideways. Yeah. At this point, Volcarona comes in. Volcarona does not have the worst matchup, like I said. It's one of those mons that King cannot really deal very well with. And now the setup is begun. Does Tentacruel run haze for it? No, it does not. It flip turns. It does have a Basho Berry, which is such a cool bring. I love berries. Ruben really diving deep in the berry pouch this week. And Volcarona at this point is just able to nuke the hell out of King's team. Oh my lord. I know King has played excellently these last few weeks. And a lot of times I wanted to put him in a game of the week, but I couldn't. Just because another game was more hyped. It sucks to show a Volcarona sweep as your first match, the game of the week, but bro, this was set up so perfectly. Volcarona had a good matchup, and it was just a matter of time before Volcarona could plow through its team. So sorry, King, that the first the match I show is a big loss versus Volcarona, but you know, I had to do it to him. Ruben, what a comeback, my dude. You are going through. The team that is known for its stall just showed up with HO, essentially, and he won. Dude, Ruben, do this more often. You are guaranteed players if you're gonna do this. But on a serious note, Ruben, he's really making moves. He is heading towards playoffs right now. But, you know, anything can happen. But things are looking way brighter than a couple of weeks ago. So that's the aim of the week. It's the 3-0 win of Ruben over Incredible King with that great Volcarona sweep. So now we regain our normal schedule, and we're going to take a look at Oceanic versus Izzy, a match in which I really thought Izzy was having the upper hand with some early game hacks, but of course Bellybolt had to miss that Muddy Motor there. Things went sideways for Izzy that way. I feel like at that point she kind of tilted and lost the game. Nothing to take away from Oceanic Gamer, because he really played Roaring Moon excellently in that late game. Very interesting match, very interesting win. And it was a win for Oceanic Gamer, but something very unfortunate happened after this match. Izzy dropped out. So very, very weird in the sense of they already had a playoffs ticket and they drop out. But I respect their decision. It does not take away anything from this Roaring Moon sweep. It's a win for Oceanic Gamer, and unfortunately it's the last time we're going to see Izzy on the battlefield. Thank you, Izzy, for all the amazing matches that you brought. Like, you brought some very good heat, and I love you all for it. So, yeah, that's a 2-0. And now we're heading towards the Toast with the Most versus Icy Screams. Yeah, Icy, you, dude, stalling out that Chandelier earlier game was such a good pivoting. Vespiquen in general was so great this week. I never really expected to say that, but yeah, Vespiquen really did a lot to enable your momentum later in that match. Toast really kind of ran out of air in the sense that her Lando was down, her Baxcalibur was down, her Chandelier was down. Crawdon really did not really get the opportunity to go for a setup move or whatever. I feel like it might have been Bandit or something. So, I don't know, looking back, I think that Morgrim could have been better as a lead, and then you could have went to Excalibur and kind of tried to sweep from there. I don't know how much this Grab Hammer miss mattered, by the way, but Icy Cream, yeah, you did all you could, and like I said, that Vespiquen was excellently played. You try to maneuver your way around Toast's team by going for tricky things like knockoff and whatever to enable the rest of your team to succeed. And that's the reason why you come up on top with a 4-0 win over Toast. And this means that Icy is now guaranteed a player spot, so congratulations. And dude, this match, I could have made this game of the week. I could have. Because these two players can still reach playoffs. It's very interesting to see how it plays out. I very much love this Tauros Aqua set. I kind of always love Tauros Aqua. But the reason why I didn't make this game of the week is kind of, yeah, the foul crit in the end. Naimet lost last week, or not last week, week 5, because of the dirty Steel Beam miss. And now we're looking at a game where she won, where he won, sorry, where he won because of the crit on Pyroball late game. Yeah, that's kind of nasty, but that's just a game. Grady getting the short end of the shtick. But yeah, even though they play very well, I think this match would have gone otherwise if the Pyroball hadn't crit. So very, very nasty win for Naimet, but you know, that's not his fault. It's not his fault that he won this way. But yeah, it sucks to lose this way, and I feel like Rated might just miss out of playoffs, partially because of this miss, or this crit, sorry. So it's a 1-0 victory for Naimet, but yeah, with a dirty aftertaste. They already said like, I didn't deserve that, but you know, you play to the best of your abilities and sometimes you get lucky, so kind of makes up for the Dialga thing a couple of weeks ago. But it's a 1-0 win for Naimet, moving ever so closely to the playoff spot. And lastly, it's Steel 16 versus that one Sableye, and you know, a lot of people won versus that one Sableye, so it's not a very big surprise that Steel won here. But I just want to emphasize that, yo, that Encore bring was just nasty. That was just great, bro. That one Sableye could not really maneuver around it. Mousehold breaking open the team. A very good bring from him this week. Mousehold hasn't really proved themselves in this entire league thus far, but this week, for sure. It's a 5-0 win for Steel. Like, of course it's a 5-0 win. But yeah, just an excellent display of how to use Mousehold. Nagglestack was a very good bring this week as well. The Terra Fairy into the Melodic was enough to devastate it. Very dominant 5-0 win. And Steel, you know, you have playoffs in sight. You have playoffs in sight right now. So if we take a gander at the standings, yeah, it's of course weird to see Izzy out of playoffs, but yeah, in this case, number 9 just takes the 4th playoff ticket that is left. That one Sableye is now eliminated from playoffs as well. Icy is in playoffs, like I said, but now it's just a matter of, it's so tricky though. PawsChamp could technically still get playoffs, but I feel like they kind of are out, but no, I don't know. Graded though, Grady can still manage to get playoffs, but it's a very uphill battle for him. I feel like at this point the cards have been dealt, and I think I know which teams are heading to playoffs, especially seeing that Icy Scream versus Great Shtick matchup next week. Very difficult matchup for them, but you know, it's league format, nothing is set in stone. There's a lot that can still happen, but I think we know which players are heading towards playoffs. But that's something for me and Butter to find out next week. Thank you guys for watching. I still have to add the Mon of the Week, and I want to give Mon of the Week to Vespiquen. Why not? Vespiquen was very important in this game versus Toast. Bringing the spikes, toxicking the Chandelier that could have been a threat. Just an excellent display of abilities. So yeah, congratulations Vespiquen, you won an award. But with that being said, I'm heading out, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.